Hello there, my friends. Welcome back to SoulTree Meditation. If you are new here, welcome. You can join me regularly for content regarding meditation, energy, manifestation, and the expansion of your consciousness. In today's video, I wanted to discuss the concept of choosing your own timeline. So what does choosing your own timeline mean? If we take a look at metaphysics, we can see that there are infinite numbers of timelines of existence, of probabilities, if you will, that are running all at the same time. So you can take a look at these timelines as if they're all stacked on top of each other, and they are running all at the same time. Now, each of us individually in our own holograms have infinite numbers of timelines that we can merge in and out of. And we all do this naturally. We do this without even knowing that we are doing it. However, when we start to study manifestation, we can see how we can actually choose a timeline of existence to merge into, one that we would prefer to be living and experiencing. So choosing a timeline is really important when it comes to deciding what it is that you want to manifest for your life. What do you want your life experience to look like? What version of you would you like to be living? Where would you like to be living? What life experience would you like to be having? The reason why you can even access that dream or that possibility in your imagination is because it is actually available to you. It is actually an available timeline of existence that exists right now, and all you have to do to access it is to match your frequency up to the frequency of that timeline, okay? And this also goes along with the metaphysical concept of there being no time. So technically there is no time, and everything that is happening or has ever happened or will ever happen is actually happening right now, simultaneously on different frequency timelines, on different timelines of existence. Okay, so that is why you do have the capability of merging yourself into another timeline where what you prefer to have happen is actually happening. Everything is available to you all the time at any given time. The issue with this that many people have is that they're actually being pulled into timelines of existence that they don't want to be living. And again, this is not to be judgmental. This is simply because we have not been taught about any of this stuff. We have not been taught about manifestation, and we have not been taught how to access the God power which lies within each and every single one of us. And there is good reason that we have not been taught that, and that is because the elites, the powers that be, would rather keep us running on their timeline of existence. You can basically look at the news and all programmed ways of existence as existing on a certain timeline, okay? So whatever narrative the news gives you, whatever narratives you receive from your parents growing up, if you take those narratives and continue to perpetuate them and regurgitate them, meaning that you believe in them, you live your life by them, you genuinely talk about them like they exist, you are being pulled into that timeline of existence where those things exist. And that is actually literally what television is. That's what the news is. It is a programming to get you pulled into a certain timeline of existence, okay? So when people talk about breaking out of the matrix or breaking out of the system, they are referring to being able to remove yourself from one timeline and move yourself into another one. So this is very possible. We're all capable of doing this. And much like all manifestation practice, it takes reprogramming of the subconscious mind, and it takes constantly moving your attention away from the old timeline or the timeline that you're trying to move away from and placing it on the new timeline that you want to merge into. So I always harp on this, but this is also very important why it's really important not to give attention to narratives in your life that are being given to you externally or anything that you want to experience less of. Only put your attention on what it is that you want to be experiencing, because if you entertain concepts and ideas and ways of being that are either given to you externally or something that has been limiting to you, you're only going to manifest the same. You're only going to see that expand into your reality. And again, this is where all of the programming comes into play. This is where all of the reprogramming is very, very important. So how do you actually merge into the timeline that you want to be living, into the timeline of existence that you yourself would like to experience? First of all, you have to change your thoughts. So your thought process is very programmed to an old timeline, the old timeline that you have been living, or the societal timeline that we have all been given. And you have to start thinking differently. I am always healthy. Abundance is easy to get. I am a successful version of myself. I am married. I am a mother. I am this. I am, completely financially free. You have to take what it is that you are wanting to experience, and you have to start telling yourself that that thing is happening now. And you have to do this regularly with affirmations, because that old timeline of existence is still going to be there. So it's always going to kind of be, fighting that new timeline that you're being pulled into, because the old timeline is here, the new timeline is here, and it's going to kind of hold on to you as you try to merge into this new timeline. This old timeline is just going to hold on to you. So it's important to be stubborn in your thinking and say, no, that is not part of my reality. So if someone shows up in your experience and they have this old narrative running about something that you want to get rid of, you say, no, that's not part of my reality. And you don't actually have to say it externally to the person, but this is something that I do on a regular, and I find that it works very well. If someone shows up in my environment with an old limiting belief system that no longer resonates with me, or an old way of being that I am trying to merge out of, I just say in my head, not in my reality. Oh, did you hear so-and-so is doing this? Or did you hear that they're saying this and this is happening? Not in my reality, it's not in my reality, because usually those things are very limiting. So you never want to attach yourself to anything that's limiting. So number one, watch what you're thinking about and make sure that it's always matching up towards the timeline that you're wanting to move towards, okay? 2, you have to reprogram your beliefs. Your thoughts and affirming what you're thinking towards a positive timeline are part of that. But usually, there are other kind of tips and tricks that you can use to really get into that subconscious mind and start reworking those belief systems. Essentially, you have to brainwash yourself in order to create a new belief that's going to allow you to match the frequency of the new timeline that you want to merge into. And again, that's changing your thoughts, and a lot of the time it's changing your energy. Energetically, you want to practice either during meditation or right before you're falling asleep is a good time to program your mind, where you're sitting and feeling what that new reality would be like. You want to feel it. You want to say, yes, I am there. Yes, I am experiencing this. Yes, this is happening. Okay. And so with the thoughts and the visualization and just allowing yourself to really tell yourself that this is happening right now and that these things are a reality right now, and detaching yourself from any sort of story or any sort of narrative of the old timeline is very important. And thirdly, you have to take action in your reality to merge yourself into the new timeline that you're wanting to experience. And you have to act as if those things are happening right now. So if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to put in the work to create that business on your own, or, put yourself out there, market yourself out there. If you want to be in a successful relationship, you have to, actually put yourself out there to forge relationships with people that you are trying to bring into your reality, okay? There doesn't have to be a lot of action. If you can retrain your thoughts and put in place new belief systems and change your energy to match that new timeline as if it is happening right now, while simultaneously really not engaging in the old timeline experience, and that means conversations, belief systems, narratives, leaving that behind and engaging in the thoughts and beliefs and narratives of the new timeline, you're going to see that it actually doesn't take that much action to bring into your life what it is that you're wanting to experience. Because at that point, you're energetically matching yourself up with this timeline that is already existing. It's already running. It's already available to you right now. You just need to match your energy up to it. And it just takes a little bit of reprogramming and changing your energy, changing the way that you feel and what you can expect from yourself to match up to that new timeline of reality. I also want to mention that doing concept work is very important when it comes to merging into a timeline that you would want to prefer. So a lot of us have, issues with confidence. We have issues with our self-concept. And again, this comes down to thinking and belief systems. So if you have low self-esteem and you have belief systems running in your head that are damaging to you, you need to work on changing those narratives and those belief systems in order to change your energy enough that you're going to match up with a new timeline, okay? So it really predominantly comes down to your thinking and your belief systems, and working on those is going to be key to be able to change your energy enough to match up the new frequency that you are merging into. And I always say as well, you don't need to take action necessarily, but taking action is only going to help you along the way. It's only going to crystallize the new timeline into your physical life experience. So eventually you're going to start to live out that timeline and live out the version of yourself that you want to be experiencing, while simultaneously leaving that old timeline behind. And then over time, you're going to see that you just merge into that new timeline. When it was always available to you, you just had to choose it. So you choose the new timeline through your thoughts, your beliefs, systems, your energy, and your actions, okay? And all of those combined together are the perfect manifestation cocktail to be able to choose what it is that you actually want to be experiencing. So I hope that this was really helpful. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching and diving deep into your own personal reality to really manifest real change, you can feel free to take a look at my packages. I have email packages, one-on-one coaching packages, and a manifestation course as well. And all of that is available in the description box down below. So thank you so much again for joining me on the channel. And this is where I leave you. So I will see you again on the next video. Much love.